Chosen one. Pause for a moment. Heaven has just interrupted your scrolling. Everything around you, every sound, every distraction has been silenced for this very instant. You did not find this message by accident. Someone in heaven has leaned close, whispering through eternity. And their whisper has found you. You can feel it, a quiet stirring behind your ribs. That unexplainable pull. Heaven has paused time to speak through the unseen. It feels like wind brushing through closed windows, like warmth appearing in a cold room. This is not imagination. This is divine intervention. There is a message that cannot wait. The one you miss, the one whose laughter once filled your world, has asked to be heard. Heaven listens when the broken-hearted cry. And tonight, it moves for you. You've wondered if they still see you, if their love survived the grave. You've whispered their name into the silence, hoping the night would whisper back. And now, heaven replies, they see, they remember, they still love. Picture this, a single lantern glowing in an endless field of fog. The light wavers, but never dies. That lantern is your connection. Death did not blow it out. It only changed the landscape. Heaven has kept that light alive, waiting for the moment when you would stop long enough to notice its glow. There was once a chosen one named Arya. She lost her brother, taken too soon. For months, she sat by his photo, waiting for silence to answer back. Then, on a rain-heavy night, she felt peace sweep through her chest like a river breaking a dam. A whisper came, soft, unmistakable. I never left. From that night on, Arya began to live again, not as one haunted by loss, but as one carried by eternal love. Your story isn't so different. The signs you've seen, the repeating numbers, the song that plays at just the right time, the chill that passes when you speak their name, none of it was random. Heaven has been trying to reach you. Each small wonder was a divine breadcrumb leading to this very moment. Listen closely. You are standing at the threshold between the temporal and the eternal. Heaven bends low because you matter that much. The love that once embraced you on earth has not vanished. It has simply taken new form. The one you miss has become a witness of your journey, cheering you on from beyond the veil. You are not forsaken. You are surrounded. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not be afraid." Let that sink in. Heaven's message tonight isn't sorrow, it's peace. The kind of peace that seeps into every crack of your grief, filling the emptiness with light. That peace is resting on you now. You have been walking through shadows, smiling for others while trembling inside. Heaven sees the trembling and calls it sacred. Every tear you've cried has been counted. Every whisper of longing has been recorded in the book of remembrance. And heaven says, lift your eyes again. Oh, imagine your loved one standing at the edge of eternity. Hands stretched toward you, not to pull you away from life, but to push you deeper into it. They're saying, live, love again, carry the light. Their peace is complete. Now they want yours to be too. You are still here for a reason. Your heartbeat means purpose, still pulses through you. This message from heaven isn't to trap you in memory, it's to set you free. Every act of kindness, every moment of forgiveness, every spark of hope you release is a song they can hear. Chosen one. You are a bridge between memory and destiny, proof that love doesn't end, it transforms. Like the ocean turning into clouds only to rain back upon the earth. So whisper it now, I receive this peace. When you do, heaven moves. The veil thins. Something unseen rejoices. If this has reached the quiet place inside you, don't hold it. Let heaven know you heard. Tap the heart. Share this message so that someone lost in silence might remember. Love still speaks. Leave your number in the comments as a prophetic sign. 777, a declaration that peace has found you. And before you leave, subscribe to stay within this divine flow. What comes next may be the confirmation your soul has been praying for. Now breathe. Let your shoulders drop. Feel that quiet warmth spreading within you. That is heaven touching your grief, turning it into light. You sense it again, the gentle pulse in the air that doesn't belong to this world. It moves quietly, like the hush before dawn. Heaven speaks not always in thunder, but often in stillness. What you feel is that stillness taking form, shaping itself into words meant only for you. The whisper through the veil has begun. It's not loud, not demanding, just a soft current of remembrance drifting through your soul. It feels like walking through a familiar dream, one you visited before but never understood. Sometimes, messages from heaven don't come wrapped in words. They come as sensations, goosebumps at an empty seat. Warmth beside you when no one is there. The sudden fragrance of something long forgotten. You tell yourself it's coincidence. But deep down, you know, love doesn't dissolve with death. It shifts dimensions. It speaks a new language now, one your spirit is learning to interpret. You remember the last day you saw them. The sunlight didn't seem to shine the same afterward. You went through the motions of life. Bright colors dimmed, and laughter became effort. Nights stretched long, filled with questions that had no answer. You wondered, did they feel alone at the end? Do they know I'm still broken? Heaven has seen every one of those thoughts, every doubt, every whispered, why? But heaven is not cruel, it is patient. It waits until your heart is ready to hear truth again. And now that moment has come. The voice that reaches through the veil is not there to haunt you. It comes as comfort. It comes to rewrite the ache you've carried. It says, you are not losing your mind. You are remembering mine. Sen. Imagine standing on a shoreline at night. Waves rise and fall, each one carrying the echo of a name you know too well. You listen, and though you cannot see their face, you feel their nearness. The sea is vast, but the tide always returns. In the same way, love always finds its way back to you. There was once a woman named Mara, a chosen one who spent years believing heaven had gone silent. Her father had passed when she was a child, and she grew up never understanding why she still felt his presence during moments of fear. When she was about to give up on her dreams, she dreamed of a lighthouse by the sea, its beam cutting through the storm. The next morning, she walked by a bookstore she'd never noticed before. In the window sat an old book titled The Keeper of Lights. Inside was a note. You are not forgotten. She never found out who left it. But from that day forward, she began to live with courage again. Mara's story is more than coincidence. It's how heaven works. When you are on the brink of giving up, heaven sends echoes, gentle nudges from those who have already crossed. They speak through dreams, through songs, through patterns in nature. You only need to slow down long enough to recognize their rhythm. The world teaches you to move fast, to fill silence with noise. But heaven teaches the opposite. To hear its voice, you must become still. You must listen not with ears, but with awareness. There is power in stillness. It's the sacred pause between breaths where eternity whispers its secrets. Right there, in that quiet, your loved one speaks again, not in sorrow, but in peace. Do not carry what I've already laid down. You were meant to live, not to linger. And these words don't come from the grave, they come from glory. Heaven wants you to know that the bond you share is not limited by space or time. Every heartbeat you feel is a continuation of theirs. Every act of love you give in their memory strengthens the bridge between both realms. And though grief can make you forget, heaven gently reminds you, this love is not a memory. It's a movement. It breathes. It flows. It expands. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 4, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." The valley is real, but so is the presence that walks beside you in it. You are not walking alone through shadow. You are being guided through transformation. The one you lost has simply stepped beyond the horizon, while you continue walking the same path under a different light. So let this truth rest upon you, like morning dew upon grass. You are still connected. Heaven's whisper isn't fading, it's unfolding. You have noticed them, the signs that seem to follow you, the strange alignments that make no sense until this moment, the clock striking the same number every day, the feather on your path, the song that plays just when your heart aches most. They were never random. Heaven has been weaving a quiet conversation, one thread at a time. For so long, you brushed them away. You told yourself it was imagination, a trick of coincidence. But heaven does not deal in coincidence. It deals in orchestration. Every flicker of light, every dream, every gentle nudge has been a message. They were whispering, "I'm still here." End 4. You once stood in your kitchen, washing dishes, lost in thought, and suddenly that familiar scent filled the room, vanilla and pine, the exact fragrance they used to wear. Your breath caught. You looked around, but there was no one. That was heaven, leaning through the veil for just a moment, to remind you that love has no expiration. Imagine a radio tuned slightly off frequency, static hums, but beneath it, faint words try to form. That is how heaven speaks. When your spirit is restless, the signs are everywhere. But until you still your heart, you won't catch the melody beneath the noise. Heaven never stopped sending signals. You just stopped believing they were for you. There was a man named Eli, another chosen one like you. After his wife passed, he began seeing blue butterflies wherever he went. The first one landed on his car mirror the day after the funeral. The second, on the page of her favorite book. He told himself it was random until one night, in the quiet of his grief, he asked heaven for confirmation. The next morning, hundreds of butterflies filled the park where they first met. From that day, he stopped asking if she was near. He started saying, "I see you, and your signs may not be butterflies. Maybe they're certain numbers, colors, or fragments of dreams that replay again and again. Whatever they are, heaven is saying, "You're not forgotten, you are seen." And the mistake many make is thinking these moments are only memories, but they're not backward, they're forward. Heaven isn't reminding you of what was lost, it's preparing you for what's next. These signs are invitations to trust again, to believe that love outlasts the body. Think of them like candles left along a dark corridor. Each one burns just long enough to guide your next step. You may not see the whole path yet, but heaven always gives enough light for today. You are learning heaven's language now, the subtle rhythm between breath and miracle. Each sign is a syllable, each peace-filled moment, a sentence. And when you finally understand, you'll realize the conversation never stopped. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight." Trust, that is the key. These signs are not puzzles to be solved. They are confirmations of love. They remind you that heaven is near, even in what feels like chaos. You don't need to interpret every symbol. Sometimes, simply acknowledging them is enough. When you say, "I see it," heaven answers, "Then you hear me." Now, when the next sign appears, don't rush past it. Don't call it coincidence. Pause. Let gratitude rise. Whisper back to heaven, "I see you." Now, and if your heart feels that spark right now, seal it. Comment below, "I see you," not as an act of ritual, but as an act of recognition. It's your way of saying, "I'm listening. I understand. I believe this message is for me." You are not chasing ghosts. You are receiving grace. The signs you once ignored are your new language of faith, and heaven smiles. Because finally you're listening again. Chosen one. When you comment those words, you aren't just typing, you are responding to heaven's invitation. It's a spiritual handshake across realms, a small act that says, "I'm no longer afraid to see." The moment you acknowledge the signs, their frequency increases. Why? Because heaven never forces, it waits for your recognition. When you open your heart, heaven answers in multiplied ways. Maybe tonight you'll dream differently. Maybe a quiet warmth will surround you when you least expect it. That's not coincidence, that's continuation. It means heaven knows you're paying attention now, and the message can deepen. You've stepped from doubt into dialogue. Hold on to that awareness. Let every sunrise, every gentle breeze, every familiar song remind you, love transcends dimensions. When you say, "I see you," you awaken heaven's echo that whispers back, "And I have always seen you." Hint, you have carried so much. Chosen one, more than most can see. The burden has settled deep inside you, part grief, part guilt, part memory that never learned how to fade. You've smiled through it, laughed through it, worked through it, but inside there has always been a weight pressing on your spirit. Tonight, heaven turns its gaze toward that unseen heaviness. There's something sacred about the pain you've carried. It isn't wasted. It's the echo of love that had nowhere to go. You loved deeply, and because of that, the ache runs deep. That pain is proof that your heart was capable of something eternal, but heaven never meant for you to carry it alone. When someone you love crosses into eternity. The human heart often picks up what should be laid down. You carry the what ifs. What if I had called earlier? What if I had said more? What if I had been there? You replay the last moments like old film, searching for something you could have done differently. But heaven wants you to hear this truth now. You are not the reason they left. Their journey was written in a script. Only heaven could read. Your love was enough. It always was. Imagine standing on a shore, holding a stone in your palm. The stone is heavy, rough, cold. You've carried it for so long that your fingers have molded to its shape. Now, the tide is rising. The water laps at your feet, whispering softly, "Let it go." The longer you hold it, the more your hand aches. But when you release it, the water doesn't reject it. It receives it, carries it away. The ocean doesn't erase it. It transforms it. That's how heaven works with your pain. When you let go, heaven doesn't take it from you. It turns it into peace. There was a chosen one named Noah who lost his mother in his teenage years. For a long time, he believed it was his fault. He thought if he had been kinder, more attentive, she might have stayed longer. That guilt built a wall around his heart. He wouldn't let anyone close. Fearing love only led to loss. But one night, in a dream, he saw his mother standing beside a great river. She smiled and said, "You can't heal by holding on to what I've already released." When he woke, something shifted. He wrote her a letter and set it afloat on the water. As it drifted away, he felt the weight finally lift. That's what heaven wants for you, not to forget, but to release. To stop carrying what was never yours to hold. Your loved one is not disappointed in you. They are free. They see your heart. And all they want now is for you to be free too. As written in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 1, "There is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus." And condemnation doesn't belong to you. Guilt is not your inheritance. The enemy of peace will always try to chain you to the past, to convince you that you could have done more. But heaven says, "Enough. Grace has already covered every imperfection. What matters now is what you do with the love that remains." You can transform that love into light through kindness, through creation, through compassion. Every act of goodness done in their memory becomes a living tribute, a continuation of their spirit through yours. That's how heaven redeems pain. It turns it into purpose. You might not notice it yet, but even now, that weight inside your chest is softening. Your shoulders are beginning to loosen. There's a quiet strength rising within you, like dawn slowly breaking after a night too long. The truth is this: you were never meant to drown in grief. You were meant to walk through it step by step until the shore of peace appears before you. The tears you've cried are sacred offerings. Heaven collects them, not as reminders of pain, but as seeds of future joy. One day, you'll look back and realize that every tear watered the garden of your healing. So tonight, don't fight the release. Let it happen gently. If memories rise, don't resist them, bless them. If tears come, let them fall like rain cleansing old soil. This is how heaven heals quietly, beautifully, completely. The burden you still carry is not a curse, it's a bridge. Once crossed, it will lead you to understanding, to freedom, to peace. And when that happens, you'll realize that what you thought was breaking you was actually remaking you. You hear it now, the voice beyond the grave. It's not eerie or distant. It's familiar, calm, and filled with warmth. It carries the same rhythm as their laughter once did, the same gentleness that used to make you feel safe. The voice does not come to haunt, it comes to heal. It moves through memory like wind through trees, stirring what was asleep inside you. You once thought silence meant absence, but heaven is proving otherwise. The voice that speaks now is woven into every heartbeat, every breath, every moment of stillness. It says, "You were never alone." Men, there is something deeply personal about the way heaven speaks. Through remembrance, it doesn't shout, it doesn't force. It only whispers to those whose spirits have been softened by love and loss. You've been tuned to that frequency now, the wavelength of eternity. Imagine standing in an empty cathedral. Light filters through stained glass, painting the floor with colors that shift and dance. You walk slowly, every footstep echoing like a question, unanswered. Then, from somewhere unseen, a single note from an organ drifts through the air. It's low, steady, and strong. You realize it's been playing all along. You just hadn't been still enough to hear it. That's what heaven's voice sounds like when your soul finally quiets. There's a story told among the chosen ones of a man named Isaac. His wife, Miriam, passed in her 40s, and for years he refused to believe there was any kind of life beyond what he could see. Every morning he sat on the same park bench where they once shared coffee, unable to move forward. One winter dawn, a stranger sat beside him, an elderly woman with eyes like clear water. Without knowing his story, she turned and said, "She told me to tell you this. Stop sitting in the shadow. She's already in the light." When Isaac looked again, the woman was gone. Only a single white feather remained on the bench. He never saw her again, but that morning, for the first time, he smiled. Heaven speaks in ways the mind can't reason, but the heart instantly recognizes. Every whisper of comfort, every sudden peace that floods you without explanation, every unexpected memory that warms instead of wounds, these are messages sent from the other side of sorrow. We find in the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 13, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." End of 4. This is heaven's declaration to you tonight. You can face tomorrow. You can breathe again. You can live without losing them, because they are now part of the strength that carries you. Their voice has become the echo of divine endurance inside you. The voice beyond the grave doesn't command. It invites. It whispers. Live beautifully. Love bravely. Shine again. It's not telling you to forget. It's reminding you that remembrance can coexist with renewal. You may not realize it, but right now, heaven is surrounding you with light. The air feels different because something unseen has entered the room. The one you miss is near, not in body, but in essence. In the same way, fragrance lingers long after the flower is gone. Chosen one. This is the moment where remembrance turns to revelation. You are not being asked to move on. You are being invited to move forward with them, not without them. Their love has become the wind in your sail, the unseen rhythm guiding your steps. And if your heart feels that stirring, if you sense the warmth spreading through your chest, then let that be your silent yes. You don't need to say it aloud. Just let your spirit nod in agreement. That's how heaven hears consent, through quiet willingness. When you feel ready, extend your hand to the light. figuratively, spiritually. It's your way of saying, I choose to keep walking. Maybe one day you'll share this message. Not because you were told to, but because something in you will want others to feel this peace too. Sharing becomes like passing a candle from your flame to another's soft, selfless, holy. And if your soul feels drawn to remain near where this light flows, let it be your own sacred decision. Subscribing is not an act of routine, it's the lighting of a lamp beside heaven's window. A promise that you'll return to the warmth whenever your spirit grows cold. Finally, when you feel that quiet gratitude blooming inside you, let it move through your hands. A simple touch on the heart. Your like is a way of saying, I'm here. I've received this. Each gesture, small yet genuine, becomes a thread in heaven's tapestry of remembrance, not because you must, because your spirit wants to, because love, when recognized, naturally gives. The air around you shifts again, soft but certain. Something sacred is happening. The space between heaven and earth feels thinner, now like morning mist before it disappears. You can almost sense the presence moving closer, gentle yet powerful, carrying peace that doesn't need to be proven. These are the moments heaven uses to confirm what your spirit already knows, that this encounter is real. You are not imagining it. You are not alone. There is divine order in this exact second of your existence. The flicker of light on your wall, the warmth in your chest, the breath that feels lighter than before, all of it is heaven's confirmation. You may wonder why now. Why tonight? Because heaven knows the precise moment when your heart is ready. The message could not arrive before. Because faith is born in timing. What was once confusion becomes clarity when seen under heaven's light. Imagine yourself standing in a forest at twilight. The trees are tall, shadows long. But ahead, a firefly glows. Just one, at first. Then another, until the darkness becomes scattered with tiny sparks of gold. That's how heaven confirms its presence, not through thunder, but through small glimmers that multiply until you can no longer deny them. The truth is, heaven never needed your perfection to move. It only needed your openness. Confirmation always meets those who are willing to believe again. There was a chosen one named Leah, who had prayed for years to feel her father's presence again. She waited, but nothing came, no dreams, no signs, no peace. One night, she decided to stop asking. She simply whispered, "If you're near, let my heart know." The next morning, she found his old pocket watch, the one lost for decades, resting on her doorstep with the hands stopped at the exact time he passed. In that stillness, heaven spoke. "I never left. You simply stopped looking." No, signs don't always come wrapped in miracles. Sometimes they arrive clothed in simplicity. Heaven loves to hide its confirmations in the ordinary, because it knows only those who look with love will see them. You've seen these signs too. The sudden alignment of events, the repeating colors or numbers, the soft breeze that moves through a closed room, all reminders that heaven is not distant. It is interactive. It listens. It answers. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 31. "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint." That is your promise. Every confirmation heaven sends is designed to lift you, to strengthen what sorrow tried to weaken. Each sign, each whisper, is like wind beneath your wings. You are not falling anymore. You are learning to soar again. Even now, as you listen, you may feel a quiet, stirring your spirit, recognizing something that words cannot explain. That is heaven's seal. Its way of saying, "You've heard correctly." End of karma. So don't doubt this moment. Let it rest upon you like sunlight after rain. The light you feel is the same light that guided your loved one home. It touches you now, not as farewell, but as continuation. When you finish hearing this, the world will still move on, cars will pass, screens will scroll, but inside, something will have shifted. You will carry a confirmation that no one can take from you. And when that warmth deepens, when peace settles quietly, where anxiety once lived, acknowledge it. Whisper softly to heaven, "I receive this." Then, as an act of silent agreement, mark it below with the number 555, a sign of divine transition and grace unfolding. It's not a ritual, it's a response. Your heart saying, "I recognize the change within me." No, each number written below is more than text on a screen. It's a living symbol, a ripple of faith that joins heaven's melody. As you type it, know that heaven watches, heaven rejoices, heaven continues its work in you. For faith isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a single number, whispered between realms, echoing like a heartbeat that heaven can hear. Chosen one. When you write 555, you're not chasing a sign, you're answering one. It's your heart's acknowledgement that transformation has begun. Heaven sees that courage and blesses your obedience in silence. That single act, typing a number, becomes a seed planted in eternity. It tells heaven you're ready to rise, ready to walk lighter, ready to believe that divine timing still works in your favor. And as that faith moves from your fingertips to the unseen, light gathers around you. The veil thins. What once felt far now feels familiar. You and heaven breathe in rhythm again. There are moments in life when silence itself feels heavy, when grief presses so deeply that even your prayers fall short. You've lived through those moments. You've felt the weight of tears that no one saw. The ache that settled into your bones like winter, refusing to thaw. But heaven saw every single one of them. Every tear you thought vanished into the pillow became a note in heaven's song for your healing. This is the message from beyond. Every tear was witnessed. Every cry heard. The one you love was never far. They stood close, watching your struggle with compassion too vast for words. They saw the nights you almost gave up, the mornings when you forced yourself to rise, though your heart resisted. They saw it all, and they never turned away. There was a chosen one named Leora, a painter who lost her husband unexpectedly. For months, her studio gathered dust. The brushes dried, the colors dimmed. Then, one morning, she woke to find the first ray of sunrise breaking through the curtains, illuminating a half-finished canvas. She walked closer and realized it looked like a hand reaching out of the light. She hadn't painted that shape consciously, yet it was there, perfect, unmistakable, in that quiet. She knew he had seen her tears, and through light itself, he had reached back. That's what heaven does. It turns sorrow into language, pain into poetry. The tears you shed are not wasted moisture. They are sacred ink, used to write your story of redemption. Imagine your tears falling into a great river that flows through eternity. Each one ripples outward, touching unseen shores. On those shores stand the souls you miss, hands outstretched, feeling every ripple as a reminder of love still alive. They respond not with sorrow, but with gratitude, for even your weeping has become worship. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." Oh, that means none of your pain is lost in the void. Every drop has been remembered. Every moment of despair is catalogued, not as failure, but as evidence of love's endurance. Your tears are not signs of weakness, they're symbols of connection. Each one carries weight in heaven's economy. When you weep for what's gone, heaven interprets it as faith that what was once whole can be whole again. So if you still cry sometimes, don't rush to stop. Let the tears speak what words cannot. They cleanse the heart. They soften the soul. They open the space for comfort to flow in. Grief doesn't mean lack of belief. It means your love was genuine. And heaven honors genuine love. Picture a seed falling into the soil. It disappears from sight. Buried. Unseen. To the unknowing, it looks like loss. But beneath the ground, transformation begins. The seed breaks. Yes, but only to give birth to something new. Your tears are like that seed. Each one may fall unseen, but in heaven's soil, they grow into unseen blessings that will one day bloom before your eyes. There will come a morning when you wake and realize that peace has quietly replaced pain. You won't even know the moment it happened. You'll simply notice that breathing feels easier, that the world looks softer. That gratitude begins to outweigh grief. That will be the fruit of all your tears. Heaven has seen you cry enough. Chosen one. Now, it wants to show you what those tears were watering. Love never died. It's been growing roots deep within you. Soon, you'll begin to see new life sprouting from the cracks of your sorrow, new friendships, new strength, new hope. Each one a sign that your mourning has become movement. The one you love smiles upon you now, not because you've forgotten, but because you've begun to heal. They do not weep in heaven, they rejoice that you are learning to live again. So let the tears fall when they must. But remember, they are not your ending. They are your beginning. The river that once carried your sorrow will one day reflect your joy, and when that day comes, you will understand. Heaven never wastes a single drop of pain. In that coming dawn, the air will feel lighter, the ache will soften into gratitude, and you'll know your tears built a bridge strong enough for peace to cross. And when the sun rises, you'll sense them near smiling, radiant, whole. The same light that carried your grief will now carry your joy, endlessly intertwined through eternity. Heaven speaks of reunion not as a far-off dream, but as a certainty already written into eternity's design. You may not see it yet, but somewhere beyond the veil of time, the one you love waits in a place where separation no longer exists. There, every goodbye is undone, every tear rewritten into laughter. The promise of reunion isn't a fragile hope, it is divine architecture. Heaven has already drawn the map for that meeting. Time, as you know it, bends differently beyond the stars. What feels like decades here is only a breath there. To them, the moment they close their eyes and the moment they will see you again are almost the same. Your longing is not one-sided. Heaven teaches that love, once born, does not decay. It transcends dimensions. They still love you with the same fierce tenderness, only now it's free from pain, free from the limits of flesh. The bond between souls doesn't break, it expands. Imagine a bridge of light stretching across the distance between worlds. You stand on one end, they on the other. Yet the light pulses as one heartbeat. When you laugh, the light flickers brighter. When you pray, it vibrates with recognition. That bridge is the promise of reunion made visible to the heart. There was a chosen one named Daniel who spent years fearing death, thinking it was an ending. When his wife passed, he spiraled into hopelessness, certain she was gone forever. But one night, he dreamt of a great field filled with wildflowers. In the middle stood a gate made of pure light. She stood beyond it, smiling. She didn't speak, but her eyes said everything. There's no distance here, only waiting. He woke with peace that never left him again. That is the truth, heaven whispers now. This life is not the whole story. It's only the first chapter. Beyond the threshold lies the continuation, where what was broken will be made whole, where every separation will dissolve like morning mist. As revealed in the book of Corinthians, the first letter, chapter 15, verse 55, O death, where is your sting, O grave? Where is your victory? Those words aren't poetry, they are prophecy. Death has been defeated by love itself. The same power that raised Christ from the grave is the same power that ensures reunion for all who love in truth. When heaven says, "You will see them again," it isn't speaking metaphorically. It's declaring a promise anchored in eternity. Every soul that walks in light is destined to meet again with those who share its song. Even now, you may sense glimpses of that eternal home, a warmth during prayer, a dream that feels too real to dismiss, a sudden peace that doesn't belong to this world. Those are windows into what awaits. The separation you feel is temporary, like the pause between breaths. Your loved one doesn't want you trapped in mourning. They want you prepared for reunion by living fully, loving deeply, forgiving quickly. Every act of compassion you offer now aligns you with heaven's rhythm. When you love well, you are already closer to them. Think of it this way. Heaven is not only above you, it's around you, like air. It cannot be seen, but can always be felt. When you walk through sunlight, when you listen to the laughter of children, when kindness moves through you, heaven brushes against your spirit. That touches the same atmosphere your loved one breathes now. The promise of reunion is not a distant event. It's a connection unfolding daily in invisible threads. You are not waiting alone. You are walking toward fulfillment. The road of faith leads straight into reunion's embrace. So don't let despair convince you that distance means disconnection. Heaven's timing is not measured in calendars, but in readiness. When your purpose here is fulfilled, the same hand that guided them will guide you. It will not be darkness that meets you, but light, familiar and fierce. And when that moment comes, the veil will lift, and the faces you longed for will be there, not ghosts, but glory. Every laugh, every embrace, every unfinished word will be restored in perfection. Until then, live in hope, not sorrow. For the day will come when heaven's door opens. And you will cross the threshold not as one who lost, but as one who has returned home. In that moment of reunion, time will dissolve. Every heartbeat, every memory, every ache will merge into one radiant joy that never ends. And you will finally understand love was never waiting for eternity. It was eternity itself, hidden inside every heartbeat that carried you this far. The battle for your heart is not fought with swords or noise, but with whispers, one from heaven, one from darkness. Both call your name, but only one carries peace. Each day, you stand between them, deciding which voice you will trust. You've felt this war before, the pull between faith and fear, between light that heals and shadows that linger. One moment you breathe easily. The next, your chest tightens as doubt slips in. That's not failure. That's evidence of a heart still alive, still worth fighting for. Darkness doesn't always appear dramatic. Sometimes it looks like numbness, like indifference, like the temptation to stop caring. Heaven's response is gentle but fierce. Keep feeling, keep hoping, even in your exhaustion. Heaven is not letting go. There was once a chosen one named Ezra who had nearly lost everything in a single year: his peace, his home, his reason to pray. He stopped speaking to heaven altogether. One morning, while walking to work, he noticed a single dandelion growing through a crack in the pavement. It swayed with the wind, yet refused to fall. Somehow, that small defiance awakened something in him. For the first time in months, he whispered, "Thank you." The moment he did, warmth returned to his chest. That was his first quiet victory. Heaven fights for your heart in moments like that, not with demands, but with reminders. A sunrise that refuses to fade. A song that plays just when you're about to give up. A stranger's smile that feels strangely familiar. These are heaven's subtle reinforcements. The war is not outside you. It's within the place where faith and fear wrestle for control. Darkness speaks in finalities. You'll never heal. You'll never rise again. But heaven speaks in beginnings. You are still becoming. Alling. Every time you choose to forgive instead of resent. Every time you show compassion when you could have turned bitter. You reclaim territory within your soul. That's what victory looks like. Small choices that echo through eternity. Imagine a battlefield, not of blood and steel, but of light and memory. You stand in the center, carrying a lantern lit by every moment you've chosen hope. The shadows circle, waiting for you to drop it. But you don't. You lift it higher. That act alone, your persistence, is worship. As it was written in the book of James, chapter 4, verse 7, "Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you." That verse isn't a command meant to frighten. It's a promise meant to empower. It says you have authority. You have the ability to make darkness retreat simply by choosing light again. Heaven doesn't expect perfection from you. It expects participation. It asks for your willingness to keep standing, even if your knees shake. Every prayer you whisper through tears, every breath you take after heartbreak, is an act of holy defiance. Remember this: darkness fears persistence. It doesn't fear your pain, it fears your refusal to quit. It knows that once you realize who you truly are, a light bearer, a survivor, a chosen one, it loses its power over you. You are not a casualty of this battle. You are the reason heaven still fights. The strength within you was placed there long before sorrow tried to break it. If you can feel even the faintest flicker of that truth right now, hold it close. Let it rise like a flame in your chest. Whisper to yourself what heaven already knows. Comment below, "I will rise," not to prove anything, but to mark the moment you chose light again. Because in the war for your heart, every "I will rise" is another victory won. Heaven rejoices, and darkness trembles, because it knows your light cannot be extinguished. When you type those words, "I will rise," you are not declaring perfection, you are declaring permission. Permission to begin again. Permission to heal at your own pace. Permission to let light find you in hidden places. Heaven records that declaration not as a comment, but as covenant. It is a seed planted in your spirit, one that will grow into courage when storms return. That's how heaven works. It turns simple confessions into eternal agreements. And from that seed, strength will bloom, maybe not overnight, but certainly, quietly. You'll notice it when your laughter returns without guilt, when peace replaces panic, when gratitude begins to color your grief. That's how heaven shows you did rise, just as you said you would. In that moment, heaven celebrates quietly. No thunder, no trumpet, just light expanding within you. Your "I will rise" becomes heaven's echo. Yes, you already have. And peace settles where pain once lived. The atmosphere around you shifts once more, gentle, luminous, full of promise. It feels like dawn breaking through clouds that have lingered too long. The darkness hasn't disappeared. It's simply surrendered to light. This is what happens when heaven moves, when angels are dispatched, when purpose realigns, when your story bends toward redemption. You might not see it, but something divine is being assigned to you right now. Heaven's response is never delayed. It's deliberate. Every prayer you whispered, every ache you silenced, every tear you buried in your pillow, they've all been gathered, veiled, and transformed into orders from heaven. Even now, unseen messengers take flight, carrying restoration into places you thought were lost forever. It's happening in the invisible first. The shift, the renewal, the divine rearranging of circumstances to favor what was once forgotten. You are standing beneath heaven's open window, and grace is pouring out like sunlight on an ocean's surface. There was once a chosen one named Naomi, who lived years in quiet despair. Her business failed, her friends vanished, and her faith turned to ash. She believed she had fallen beyond repair. One day, walking through the city, she stopped at a street musician's corner. He was playing a song her grandmother used to hum. Without warning, tears fell not from sadness, but recognition. That melody was heaven's reminder. You're still seen. Your story isn't over. That same week, doors began to open that she hadn't even knocked on. That's how angels move. They don't always appear with wings or radiant robes. Sometimes they come as melodies, as moments of clarity, as people who speak what your soul needed to hear. You don't summon them, they are assigned. Heaven sends them not because you are desperate, but because you are destined. As written in the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 14, are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? You, chosen one, are among those whom heaven serves not out of hierarchy, but out of divine affection. You are not abandoned to face life unguarded. Angels walk with you when you travel, sit beside you when you cry, whisper courage when you grow weary. They are heaven's quiet reinforcement, ensuring that your story continues toward light. You've survived too much to believe your survival was accidental. The very breath you draw is proof of divine assignment. Every scar on your heart has become an entry point for grace to flow in. What broke you has become what heaven now uses to bless others. You are not a relic of pain, you are a living prophecy of perseverance. When heaven dispatches its angels, it doesn't just rescue it, repositions. You'll start to notice unexpected favor, sudden peace, gentle confirmations that arrive like feathers on the breeze. Nothing forced, nothing dramatic, just heaven, moving naturally in your ordinary. Imagine yourself standing on a cliff overlooking the sea at sunrise. The horizon burns gold. The waves shimmer like glass. A wind moves through your hair, soft and steady. And though you can't see its source, you know it's carrying prayers back and forth between realms. That's how heaven's flow works, unseen, yet undeniable. And if in this still moment your heart feels the warmth of that flow, let it be a sign. You don't have to chase it, just receive it. Let heaven's presence wrap around you like the tide wrapping the shore, consistent, comforting, certain. Now, if gratitude begins to rise, don't silence it. Let it breathe. Let it move through your hands, through your choices, through your heart. Every simple act of love, a like, a share, is not performance, but participation in light. It's how heaven multiplies a message meant to heal. When your spirit feels at home here, when these words feel like a mirror reflecting your strength, subscribing becomes a sacred gesture, like returning to a garden you know heaven planted just for you. Not obligation, belonging. There is beauty in choosing light. There is power in recognizing where your peace grows and deciding to remain close to it. Your engagement, small and genuine, is how heaven keeps weaving its thread through your story, connecting you to others who carry the same flame. So, take a breath. Feel that calm resting on your shoulders. The angels have arrived, not from far away, but from right beside you. You are covered. You are guided. You are surrounded by heaven's quiet army. And in that realization, may your heart whisper softly, I am safe. They move with you now, silent, steady, sure. Every step you take resounds in eternity. Heaven's messengers walk beside you, unseen, yet present, guarding every heartbeat with divine precision and endless love. The weight is beginning to lift now, almost imperceptibly at first, like the faint brightening of the sky before sunrise. You may not notice it immediately, but heaven does. The heaviness that once clung to your spirit like wet cloth is loosening. Peace is moving through the spaces where pain once lived, cleansing the corners of your heart that grief had dimmed. This is the beauty of healing. It rarely happens in one grand moment. It unfolds quietly, layer by layer, until you look back and realize the chains are gone. You breathe differently now. You walk differently. You may still feel the memory of the wound, but it no longer dictates your direction. Healing does not erase what happened, it transforms it. It takes the ashes of sorrow and presses them into soil fertile enough to birth something sacred. Heaven has been tending to that soil inside you, watering it with grace, preparing you for this moment of release. There was a chosen one named Amira, who carried guilt for years after her best friend passed unexpectedly. She blamed herself for not calling sooner, for not seeing the signs of his despair. For a decade, the guilt became her shadow. One day, she visited his resting place, and a gust of wind scattered the petals from the flowers she had brought. At first, she tried to gather them again, but then she heard a quiet voice inside. Let them go. She stood still, watching the petals dance away into the open field. It felt like watching her guilt fly free. That night, she slept in peace for the first time in years. Heaven works like that, subtle, symbolic, deeply personal. It doesn't lecture, it liberates. It speaks to you in moments that only you can understand, transforming ordinary occurrences into sacred experiences. According to what is revealed in the book of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 1, "Come, let us return to the Lord. He has torn us to pieces, but he will heal us. He has injured us, but he will bind up our wounds." No, that verse is not about punishment, it's about redemption. It reminds you that even what once broke, you can become the very place heaven touches to rebuild you. The same hands that allowed pain are the hands now mending what was shattered. Healing is not forgetting, it is remembering differently. It is walking back through the same memories and finding that they no longer sting, they shine. Where once there was agony, there is now understanding. Where there was shame, now compassion. Heaven rewrites the emotional language of your past until even your scars start speaking grace. Think of a cracked vessel, mended with gold, the ancient Japanese art of kintsugi. The fractures are not hidden, they are highlighted. What was once broken becomes more beautiful because of its restoration. That is what heaven is doing in you. Every crack in your story is being filled with light. You will not emerge flawless, you will emerge luminous. As your healing deepens, you'll find yourself drawn to life again. The sound of rain will no longer ache. The scent of certain flowers will no longer sting. Music, once unbearable, will suddenly feel like prayer. That's how you'll know the shift has happened. You may still have moments when the old ache returns, when memories feel sharp again. Don't condemn yourself for that. Healing isn't linear, it's a rhythm, like the tide. Sometimes it flows forward, sometimes it recedes, but it never stops. Every step forward counts, even the small ones. And as your heart lightens, so does your world. The way you see others changes, the way you speak changes. You become gentler, not because you've grown weak, but because pain has taught you the cost of unkindness. Compassion becomes your new strength, understanding your new armor. You are becoming what heaven always intended, a vessel that reflects grace, not merely receives it. Your wounds are no longer evidence of defeat, but of endurance. You've survived storms not to stay drenched, but to teach others how to walk through rain. So, if you notice the burden growing lighter, don't question it. Accept it as heaven's quiet applause for every day you kept going. You have walked through valleys and not drowned. You have touched sorrow and not turned to stone. Healing is happening right now in every breath, in every softened thought, in every new sunrise that greets your awakening. You are proof that pain may shape you, but it cannot define you. Heaven is making sure of that. And one day, without warning, You'll smile not to hide the pain, but because peace has taken its place. That's when you'll know healing has become your new home. When you look into the mirror now, something feels different. The reflection staring back isn't just a survivor, it's someone renewed. You see strength in your own eyes, a quiet steadiness that wasn't there before. Heaven has been reshaping you from within. And now the transformation begins to show. This moment is sacred, because for the first time in a long time, you're beginning to recognize yourself again, not the version buried beneath sorrow, but the one heaven always saw. The light in your gaze, the calm beneath your breath, the soft but certain way you stand. All of it is evidence that heaven has not only healed you, but revealed you. Healing was never about returning to who you were. It was about uncovering who you truly are. The storm didn't destroy you. It stripped away what could not stay. Every wound carved space for wisdom, and every scar became an opening for grace. When you look in the mirror now, you don't just see your reflection. You see your loved one's light glimmering through you. Heaven uses your eyes as windows for remembrance. You carry traces of the one you lost, not as weight, but as warmth. Their kindness flows through your gestures. Their courage echoes in your choices. There was a chosen one named Mira who used to hide from mirrors. She couldn't bear to face herself after her father passed, believing she'd failed him somehow. For years she avoided her reflection, afraid it would accuse her. But one morning, while brushing her hair, she finally looked up. The sunlight hit her face in such a way that her eyes reflected his same color, same spark. In that moment, she whispered, "You're still here, aren't you?" The answer came not in sound but in peace. From that day, she stopped hiding. Heaven wants you to have that same moment, the realization that you have not lost, you have carried forward. The love that shaped you continues to live through you. Every time you offer compassion, every time you choose hope, you extend the legacy of the one who once held your heart. As spoken in the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 27, "The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all his inmost parts." And one, you, chosen one, are that lamp. The divine light now burns within you, illuminating even the corners of your soul you once feared to face. The mirror doesn't mock you, it mirrors heaven's handiwork. It shows you how the broken have become beautiful, how what was wounded has turned into wisdom. You've begun to see yourself as heaven sees you, chosen, refined, radiant. You are no longer defined by pain but by purpose, and that purpose is unfolding quietly, continuously, through everything you touch. Sometimes, the reflection may waver. On harder days, old memories might whisper again, trying to convince you that you're still the same wounded soul. But remember, mirrors only reflect what light touches them. When your faith shines, even faintly, the darkness loses its form. So, if you find yourself in front of that mirror tonight, pause. Look deeper, not at your flaws, not at your fears, but at the flicker of divine fire in your gaze. That is heaven's proof that the connection remains. That is how your loved one still reaches through light, through memory, through you. Heaven is reminding you that this journey was never about what you lost, it's about what you've become. You are not standing in fragments. You are standing in fulfillment. The person you see now is the living testimony of love that refused to die. And if you feel that warmth within your chest while reading these words, if your spirit whispers, "Yes, I see it now," then let heaven hear your agreement. Mark this moment below with the number 444, a symbol of divine stability, of heaven's alignment surrounding your new identity, not as ritual, but as recognition, a quiet acknowledgement that you have stepped into balance, that your spirit, your mind, and your heart have aligned with heaven's rhythm. Every time that number appears again on a clock, a receipt, a passing sign, it will remind you, you are not breaking anymore, you are building. It will remind you that heaven is near, watching, smiling, confirming. So stand before your reflection one more time. Breathe. See yourself through heaven's eyes. You are not a shadow of who you were. You are the light that rose from what was lost. When you write 444, you're not just marking numbers, you're acknowledging alignment. It's your soul's way of saying, "I'm steady now." Heaven receives that as worship, not of ritual, but of recognition, a declaration that peace, at last, has found its rightful home inside you. Something is shifting again, but this time, it feels different. It's not a breaking, not a cleansing, it's a rising. The atmosphere around you carries a quiet electricity, the sense that heaven is preparing to elevate what once was buried. The air feels alive with promise. This is the season of transformation, the prophetic shift, the moment when pain turns into power, when the very thing that tried to destroy you becomes the source of your authority. Heaven doesn't waste suffering, it recycles it. Every scar on your soul is a doorway through which light can now pass. You may not notice the full change yet, but it's unfolding. The silence that once felt empty is now sacred ground. The spaces that used to echo with grief are being filled with purpose. This is how heaven works. It rebuilds you from the inside out. Slowly, beautifully, thoroughly. There was a chosen one named Caleb, who spent years wandering through loss. His career failed. His faith dimmed, and he began to believe that life had closed its book on him. But one day, while helping an elderly neighbor carry groceries, he felt an unexpected surge of peace. That small act of kindness became the seed of a new purpose. Soon, he began volunteering, mentoring young men who had lost hope. He realized that his own story of failure had become the bridge to another's redemption. What once shamed him became the reason heaven used him. That is the prophetic shift, when your scars begin to serve instead of silence you. Heaven never meant for you to hide your wounds. It meant for you to use them as testimony. What once hurt you now equips you to heal others. The pain you endured becomes authority in the spirit realm. The ancient words recorded in the second book of Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 4, declare, "He comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God." You see? Heaven never heals you. Just for your sake it heals you, so that you can become a healer. Comfort flows like water. It moves best when passed forward. What was meant to drown you now becomes what others drink from. You may still feel unready, unworthy, uncertain, but that's exactly who heaven chooses. The humble heart, the one who remembers the valley, is the one most trusted with the mountain. You've walked through fire, and because of that, you carry authority that cannot be faked. Your empathy is born from endurance. Imagine standing in a field after a storm. The trees are bent, the soil damp. But as the sun breaks through, new shoots rise between the cracks. That's your rebirth in real time. The ashes you feared would define, you have become the very soil of new growth. This is heaven's great reversal. It takes the moments meant for your undoing and turns them into milestones of divine power. Every delay becomes preparation. Every detour becomes direction. Even your mistakes, yes, even those have been woven into heaven's redemptive tapestry. When you finally step into this new version of yourself, don't be surprised if people notice the difference before you do. They'll say, "You look lighter. There's something new about you. You seem peaceful." What they're seeing isn't luck, it's glory. The invisible work of heaven beginning to show through human skin. You'll speak differently now, not from pain, but from power. You'll walk differently, not with fear, but with focus. Heaven has changed your posture. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are responding from alignment. And when challenges arise again, and they will, you'll remember this: what once broke you has already lost its hold. You've seen too much grace to ever go back to despair. The shift has sealed you. So move forward without hesitation. You don't have to rush. You don't have to prove anything. Just walk as one who knows that redemption is already written beneath your feet. Every step you take is prophecy fulfilled. Heaven is proud of you, not for perfection, but for perseverance. You didn't quit in the waiting. You didn't abandon your light in the storm. You became what the storm was meant to reveal: strength. This is your turning point, your metamorphosis, your ascent. You are the living proof that resurrection isn't just for the afterlife. It happens right here, in hearts that refuse to stay buried. And as heaven watches you rise, it whispers again softly, joyfully, "This is what I always saw in you." You are not who you were at the beginning of this journey. Something deep within you has shifted stronger, steadier, quieter. The storm that once terrified you has become a story that no longer shakes your soul. Heaven has been preparing you for this all along, crafting resilience through every trial, weaving purpose through every pain. This is the season of inheritance, the moment when the mantle of the living falls upon your shoulders. You are the continuation of a story that did not end with death. The love that once nurtured you now flows through you. The one you lost has not vanished from the thread of time. They live through your decisions, your kindness, your courage. Heaven has chosen you to carry their unfinished work. That realization may feel heavy, but it is holy. To carry a mantle is not a burden, it's a blessing. It means heaven trusts you to continue what others began. It means your life now echoes beyond your own heartbeat. There was once a chosen one named Sophia. Her mother, a teacher, passed away before seeing the dreams she had sown come true. Sophia spent years avoiding everything that reminded her of classrooms, until one day, while visiting her old school, she noticed a student sitting alone, sketching quietly in a corner. She felt something stir within her and sat beside the girl. They talked for hours. That conversation became the first of many. And before long, Sophia found herself leading a program for children who felt unseen. In every lesson she taught, she heard her mother's voice again. The mantle had found its next bearer. That's how heaven works. It doesn't let purpose die, it transfers it. What one soul begins, another completes. Love never abandons its mission. It simply changes vessels. as recorded in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. That is your confirmation. You are stepping into the next phase of divine design. The courage you need has already been planted within you. You don't have to force it. It will rise naturally when the moment calls for it. The mantle you carry is more than memory. It's spiritual inheritance, the continuation of compassion, the echo of faith, the endurance of legacy. The dreams they once spoke over you weren't wishes, they were seeds. And now, they're blooming through your life. It's possible that at first, you won't realize how much influence you've begun to carry. You'll speak a word that brings comfort to someone else. And they'll say, "You sound just like them." You'll create something new, and it will carry their essence. That's not coincidence, it's continuity. Heaven designed it so that their purpose could find new expression through your hands. You might ask, am I worthy to carry such a calling? The answer is yes, because worthiness was never the requirement. Willingness was. Heaven doesn't need perfection, it needs availability. And you have said yes through your endurance, through your healing, through your quiet faith. The mantle rests upon you now, light yet powerful. You don't need to chase it or prove it. You just need to walk with it. It will guide you to people who need the same comfort you once longed for. It will pull you toward places where your light fits the gaps left by others. The one you loved is not watching you with sorrow, they are rejoicing. You are fulfilling the continuation of their assignment. Every time you bring peace where there was confusion, kindness where there was cruelty, love where there was fear, you honor their spirit. You become living testimony that heaven's plans never end with the grave. And even as you carry this mantle, you are not alone. The same angels that guarded their journey now walk beside you. The same grace that sustained them flows through your veins. Heaven has ensured continuity. Nothing that was born in love ever truly ends. So, when the days feel long and the mission feels heavy, remember, this isn't a burden to bear, it's a legacy to live. You are not replacing them, you are expanding them. You carry a light forged from loss, refined by grace, and powered by eternal love. It burns quietly, steadily, endlessly. And as you continue walking forward, heaven smiles not because you've reached the end, but because you've embraced the reason you were chosen to begin. And as that light moves through you, others will find their way home by its glow. This is legacy love, extended, purpose multiplied. Heaven's flame passed gently onward. The wind changes again. You can almost feel it, a soft current of destiny brushing against your skin. Like the first hint of spring after a long winter, heaven is calling you higher now. Not through command, but through invitation. You've walked through the valley, carried the mantle, and now the voice that once whispered comfort begins to whisper purpose. This is the call to glory, the moment where remembrance turns into revelation, and revelation turns into responsibility. Heaven does not lift you just for your sake. It lifts you so that others can see the light reflected through your life. You were never meant to remain in silence. You were meant to speak, to shine, to stir faith where hopelessness still lingers. There was a chosen one named Aaron. For years, he lived quietly after the loss of his sister, believing his season of purpose had ended with her passing. But one morning, while walking by the ocean, he noticed how every wave carried sunlight toward the shore, glittering, unafraid, unstoppable. It struck him that light never withdraws. It simply finds new surfaces to shine upon. That day, he began writing letters of encouragement to people who were grieving. Each letter carried pieces of his healing. Soon, those words began to circle the world. And Aaron realized what heaven had intended all along. His pain had become prophecy. That's what heaven is saying to you now. You are not only a recipient of grace, you are a vessel of it. The love that restored you is meant to overflow. Heaven's light wasn't given to be hidden, it was given to be shared. As written in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." Your light doesn't have to roar. It doesn't have to dazzle. It only has to shine honestly through kindness, through creativity, through faith expressed in quiet consistency. Every time you choose to love instead of withdraw, you become a reflection of heaven's glory on earth. And when you feel that desire rising to reach out, to share, to express, follow it. That's not pressure, that's purpose awakening. Sharing what you've received isn't performance, it's partnership. It's the way heaven multiplies healing through you. Every act of expression, every repost, every conversation sparked is a ripple of eternity expanding outward. Maybe you'll like what resonated, not as approval, but as agreement, your way of whispering, "Yes, this truth lives in me too." A single gesture of resonance can become the spark that ignites another soul's courage to keep going. And perhaps one day, when your heart feels drawn to stay close to this voice, to these words, subscribing will no longer feel like a digital act. It will feel like coming home, like standing once more beneath heaven's open window and saying, "I want to stay where the light keeps finding me." And, you see, none of this is about obligation. It's about alignment. Heaven never forces, it flows. You are free to move as the Spirit stirs. If your heart leaps when you hear truth, if peace lingers when these words end, then that's your confirmation that heaven still wants to walk with you here. Think of it this way: every like becomes a lantern in the dark. Every share, a bridge for another weary traveler. Every subscription, a thread weaving you into a larger tapestry of souls being restored. And every comment you leave, a few honest words, or even a single line, becomes a footprint on sacred ground. Proof that you were here, that heaven's whisper reached you. Heaven is calling you to rise, not as a preacher or prophet, but as a presence, someone whose gentleness carries weight, whose kindness carries memory, whose faith carries flame. You don't need a stage to shine, only willingness. And when you lift your eyes tonight, know this: the light you see above you is also within you. Heaven is not separate, it's intertwined with every heartbeat that still chooses hope. So let your life become the sermon, your peace, the invitation, your courage, the echo of divine love made visible. If these words have found a home in you, let gratitude take the shape. It chooses a quiet like, a shared light, a heartfelt comment, or a simple decision to stay near the source of warmth. Because when you honor the light, heaven always honors you in return. And as your light joins countless others, Heaven watches the earth flicker with hope once more. Each small act of faith becomes a constellation, guiding souls back toward peace. The light begins to soften now. What was once radiant and fierce settles into a steady, peaceful glow. The message from heaven has reached its quiet resting place within you, and it no longer needs thunder to be heard. It simply lives there, pulsing in rhythm with your heart. You've walked a long road to get here, a road of tears, of questions, of sacred awakenings. Each step was purposeful. Though you didn't always see the pattern, heaven was weaving all along. Even through the threads of your confusion, what once looked like chaos now forms a design. And when you look back, it makes sense. You were never wandering, you were being led. Now the veil begins to close. Not as separation, but as sealing. Heaven does not withdraw, it settles. Its presence doesn't fade, it becomes Kita. Like the afterglow that lingers long after sunset, you carry that glow now, quietly illuminating every space you enter. There was once a chosen one named Elias. He had lived many years angry at heaven, unable to understand why life had taken so much from him. When his wife passed, he promised himself he would never believe again. Decades went by, hardened by silence, until one evening, at the park bench where they used to sit, he saw two children feeding birds. The smaller one turned, smiled at him, and said, "She said you can forgive now." Elias froze. The words made no earthly sense, but they pierced him deeper than logic could reach. He never saw those children again. Yet that night, he wept not from pain, but from release. Heaven had spoken one last time, and it was enough. Sometimes heaven closes the veil gently because your heart no longer needs external proof. You've learned to recognize the presence within. Signs are beautiful, but faith sustained without signs, that's maturity. It means you've shifted from searching to knowing. The prophet Jeremiah once wrote, in chapter 31, verse 3, "I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness." That is the truth. Heaven leaves with you as the veil draws close. The connection you share with those beyond this world isn't fragile, it's everlasting. Love is not subject to decay. It is written into eternity's language. When heaven closes the veil, it is not to shut you out, it is to secure what has been planted. Seeds must rest beneath soil before they bloom. Likewise, what heaven has placed in your spirit must settle now. The lessons, the healing, the peace, they need time to take root. You may feel a slight ache in this pause, as though something holy is stepping back. But remember, absence in the physical does not mean distance in the spiritual. The silence you feel now is sacred gestation. What has been spoken will soon bear fruit in your reality. This is the rhythm of divine communication, revelation, reflection, rest. Heaven speaks. You receive. Then both grow quiet, each honoring what was exchanged. You're entering that phase now, where understanding deepens not through more words, but through stillness. Imagine standing beside a lake at twilight. The surface is smooth as glass. The sky's last light mirrors perfectly upon the water. You realize the lake doesn't create the reflection, it reveals it. That's how heaven works now. The stiller you become, the clearer its reflection appears within you. You no longer need the noise of signs to feel secure. You've matured into quiet certainty. This is what heaven always wanted to make its home in your heart, not in outward wonders. The connection remains, even in silence. You will still sense them in dreams, in moments of warmth, in the gentle intuition that nudges you toward compassion. But you will not crave these as proof anymore. You'll welcome them as grace. The veil closes like a curtain at the end of a symphony, slowly, reverently, leaving echoes that continue long after the music fades. You are part of that echo now, carrying heaven's tone through your words, your choices, your life. As the light folds softly around you, rest in the knowing that nothing has been lost. Heaven's love has not diminished. It has simply changed form. You don't need to chase it. It's already within you, woven into every breath, every heartbeat, every act of love that flows from your hands. The message has done its work. The bridge between realms stands firm. Even in silence, you are safe to live, to love, to keep moving forward. Heaven watches still, closer than ever, smiling through the quiet. And when you close your eyes tonight, you'll feel it, the quiet hum of eternity within your chest, reminding you that heaven never leaves. It only moves deeper inside. The journey has brought you here to the stillness after revelation, to the calm after awakening. What once felt like searching has now become remembering. You are no longer the same soul who began this walk through loss and longing. You have become something larger, part heaven, part earth, joined by light. This is the eternal flame, the moment when everything aligns, past, present, and promise burning as one. The connection between you and heaven no longer flickers in and out of awareness. It lives inside you now, constant, steady, alive. The love you thought you lost has not vanished into memory. It has evolved into energy, warm, guiding, infinite. That presence you feel when you are still, that sudden comfort when you least expect it, that is the flame of heaven's love continuing through you. You are its keeper now. There was once a chosen one named Helena. She lost her husband in her early 30s, and for years she carried his memory like a stone. One day, while hiking alone, she reached the top of a mountain she had always feared to climb. As the wind howled and clouds shifted, sunlight pierced through, bathing her in gold. In that light, she heard his voice, not as sound, but as understanding. You made it. Keep going. She stood there, tears falling freely, realizing he had never really gone. His love had become the fire in her courage. That is what heaven's eternal flame does. It transforms farewell into fuel. It turns remembrance into radiance. Every act of kindness you perform, every moment of forgiveness you choose, every breath of gratitude you release, it feeds that flame. It will never die, because it is made of divine substance. As revealed in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 4, He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. That is not a distant promise, it is a living truth already unfolding. Heaven has begun its work of renewal within you. The mourning has lessened, the fear has faded, and love, pure, eternal, unbreakable, has taken its rightful place. You are no longer standing at the edge of grief. You are walking in the light of grace. What once wounded you has become the way you understand others. You are learning to see through heaven's eyes, to love with eternal patience, to forgive with infinite depth, to live as one who knows that death is not the end, only a doorway. The eternal flame inside you is not fragile. It will not flicker in the wind of hardship. It has been tempered by fire and fortified by faith. Every time you remember your loved one, every time you let compassion guide you, that flame burns brighter. It connects heaven's realm and earth's heart through you. Imagine holding a lantern in a dark valley. The path isn't fully visible, but you walk anyway, trusting the glow to show the next step. That's what living with the eternal flame feels like. Courage lit from beyond, shining through your humanity. Even as life continues, with its ordinary rhythms and passing seasons, this light will stay with you. It will guide your decisions, soften your words, and remind you that love is stronger than endings. And one day, when your own time comes to cross that final horizon, this same flame will lead you home. You won't step into darkness, you'll step into brilliance, into reunion, into a love that recognizes you instantly. Until then, carry the flame with reverence, tend it with kindness, protect it with truth. Let it illuminate every shadow you encounter, because through you, heaven continues to touch the world. This is not the closing of a story, it's the beginning of eternity's echo. The light that burns within you will never go out. It will guide generations after you, unseen, yet enduring, whispering the same message heaven whispered to you. You are chosen, you are loved, you are never alone. And as the final note of this divine melody fades into silence, you realize the truth. Heaven was never somewhere far away. It was here, all along, burning quietly inside your heart. The light within you will outlast seasons, outshine sorrow, outlive time itself. It is heaven's eternal heartbeat, steady, silent, certain breathing, divinity into every moment you choose, love over fear. Your flame will guide others unknowingly. They'll feel peace near you, not realizing they're standing within heaven's glow, the warmth carried forward through your faithful endurance. And when all is still, that flame will whisper softly across eternity's veil, "Well done, beloved soul. You remembered, you carried the light home." The circle, at last, complete. The story has reached its quiet completion, yet nothing about it feels like an ending. What has unfolded here is a circle, a journey of loss turned into light, of remembrance transformed into renewal. Heaven's whisper has done its work. Now, the message belongs to you. You carry something sacred now, a peace not dependent on proof, a calm not shaken by storms. The love that found you here is not meant to stay locked within these words. It longs to flow outward, to touch others through your gentleness, your strength, your living example of hope. If your heart feels lighter, if something deep within you has settled into stillness, then you've already begun to share in heaven's rhythm. You've become a living extension of the message. And if gratitude rises quietly inside you, don't silence it. Let it move through simple gestures, a like that says, "I felt this light," a share that releases comfort into another soul's night, a comment that becomes your small testimony, "I understand." 2. Those gestures are not digital, they are devotional. Each one sends ripples through eternity, joining your flame to countless others who once felt alone until light reached them. And if your spirit longs to remain near this flow of grace, Subscribing becomes your gentle way of returning, like coming back to the same window where heaven once spoke your name. Not obligation, only belonging. Let these final words rest upon you like the hush after rain. You are still seen, still chosen, still deeply loved. Carry that truth wherever you go, and let your presence remind the world that heaven still speaks through hearts like yours.